All right, Chicago, we are back. And it's time for us to head into the year 3 offseason with your Chicago Blackhawks after a Stanley Cup final defeat to our rivals, the Tampa Bay Lightning. We got it done in 2015 over the Bolts. They got it done in 2021 against your Hawks. Hopefully, it's not the last time these two teams face off in the Cup final because we are building ourselves quite a rivalry right here. But I gotta say, it's very unfortunate that we didn't get it done this year. I knew that we didn't have the best team in the league on paper, but I felt like we had a good enough team that we could maybe steal a Stanley Cup. We had the superstar goaltender. We had the superstar a goal scorer up front, playmaker in Patrick Kane. We had the superstar defensive center in Jonathan Toews. And we had great depth. We had a good blue line. No studs on the blue line just yet. They're young. They're getting better. And our older guys, they're starting to trail off a little bit. But enough depth. But up against the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Cup final, man, they were clearly the better team. Not only on paper, but in practice. And it showed during the simulation. Look how the series started. 2-0 win for Tampa. 2-0 win for Tampa. And a 2-1 win for Tampa. We scored 1 goal over the first 9 periods. 1 goal in the first 3 games. Immediately going down 3-0 in the series. Not a good way to start. Game 4, a 2-0 win for us. So Sergei Bobrovsky literally had to get a shutout to ensure a victory. We only got him 2 goals. Our offense finally came alive in game number 5, getting him 3 and then the 4th in overtime. But then back to square one for game number 6. We turned it into a series, which was nice. We were 1 game away from pushing it to a game 7. But if you take into account this loss with the first 3, we scored 2 goals in our 4 losses in the Stanley Cup Finals. 2 goals in our 4 losses. So the inability to score offense on Andrei Vasilevsky and that deep-ass blue line in Tampa Bay, along with their forward core, that was the downfall. Now, was it because Tampa is so good, or was it because the Chicago Blackhawks just aren't good enough? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Oh my God. So if I go to player stats quickly, I'll show you guys the forwards and the defensive stats. Our second line, Nemesnikov, Toews, and Bjorkstrand was the highlight for forwards of our playoff run. 18 points in 25 games played. Jonathan Toews, 15 points in 25 games played. And Bjorkstrand, 13 in 25. Those are great second line numbers, especially being a +6, +7, +10. The problem came from our first line. Patrick Kane, only 16 points in 25 games. And if you go back and you look at the first and second round, he scored the big-time goal in Game 7 overtime against the Dallas Stars in round 2. But after that, round 3 and round 4, the Stanley Cup Finals and the Western Conference Finals, the first line was nowhere to be found. So those stats were really all the first 2 rounds. He was playing great, but the 3rd and 4th round, they were nowhere to be found. Panarin, 14 points in 14 points, 3 goals. That's unacceptable. And DeBrincat, 12 points in 25 games played. We had a better showing from our 3rd and 4th line. Jackson Kostopoulos had 10 points in 23 games played on the 4th and 3rd line. DeBrincat had 12 on the first line and the first line power play. So you can see how the inability to score was our biggest problem here. But Jackson Kostopoulos, that's going to be a highlight for next season. He's certainly going to be ready to play. Defensively, Ekholm, Bachvist, Myers, Yokoharju, but Duncan Keith. Gonna have to move on from Duncan Keith here, boys. He is, $5.5 million for another 2 years after this year, but he's dropped down to an 80 overall defenseman. I would have loved to have won another Stanley Cup with Duncan Keith and Kane and Toews, the core 3. Since the beginning, I've been trading away guys like Seabrook, Crawford, Saad. I wanted to win one more with Duncan Keith. I also was hoping that he wouldn't drop off this quick. Well, he's 37. But we're going to have to see if we can move on from Duncan Keith, free up some cap space. But the MVP of the playoffs, he didn't have the greatest first round until he turned it around in that 4 overtime marathon. But look what he finished with, a .934 save percentage for Sergei Bobrovsky. All right, if you go back to last year's playoff run, a .944 save percentage. So we have a goaltender who's 32 years of age. He can lose his exact elite potential at any time. But we have a goaltender who's capable of giving us a Stanley Cup run in the playoffs. Absolutely no doubt. We had to find the team to surround him with to give ourselves that extra chance or that extra advantage that we're going to need to beat a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning. So let's sim to the draft. Oh my God, I'm so congested. Oh, I got to fight through it though. Hang on a second here, boys. All right, that's a little bit better. My God, man. I'm not even going to tell you guys what I've been up to. Oh, my God. You wouldn't believe me anyways. So, the Tampa Bay Lightning is Stanley Cup champions. Let's advance, shall we? Salary cap for the upcoming season. That's going to be an issue, especially if we want to target some free agents. I have to free up some cap space somehow, and Duncan Keith looks like he has to be the guy. So the draft lottery results, Les Montreal Canadiens will be drafting first overall in year number 3. Pretty good for them. New York Rangers number 2. The Winnipeg Jets, the Stanley Cup winners in year 1. It looks like they're reloading. Man, they should be, if they pick up another good player, I don't know why they finished so poorly. Maybe they just missed out on the playoffs and won the draft lottery from like 15th or something. They're going to get a good player at number 3. So central draft, yeah, I'll go to the draft class after. Let's just go to the awards and everything. We'll take a look at that. Take a look at retired players. Figure out where our draft positions are, and then we'll go from there. So Brent Burns has decided to retire for the San Jose Sharks. Andrew Ladd, UC Okunin, Dion Fagoof. Well, Nonis gave him his send-off, 7x7. So there you go. Have fun retirement, Dion. Anyone from our team? Hang on a second. Chicago. Oh my God, I'm so congested. No, we're good. All right. So Duncan Keith did not decide to retire to make my job a little bit easier. Did it say Brent Burns was a scout? Maybe I'll sign Brent Burns as a scout for Canada. All right, for the OHL or something. So let's go to awards, playoff tree, all that good stuff. Get that out of the way, and then we'll take a look at what our contract situation looks like. So the Stanley Cup champions in year number 3, Tampa Bay. It's been Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay. Hang on a second. Who won the President's Trophy this year? Oh, hang on a second. President's Trophy, the Philadelphia Flyers. We just missed out on it. Even though this is what I mean about stealing the Stanley Cup. We put together a good team that simulates, but you're just not going to beat an overpowered team like the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Connor McDavid with the Art Ross. Hart Memorial goes to Connor McDavid. James Norris goes to Tyson Berry. Lady Byng goes to Jonathan Drouin. Calder goes to something Ruchinski. All right, so a draft pick from the New Jersey Devils, pretty good. Conn Smythe goes to Vasilevsky. Yeah, that makes sense, man. He was absolutely fantastic in the finals, and I'd assume it was like that for the whole playoff run. Vezina Freddy, William M. Jennings, Luckinen, whatever his name is. Bill Masterton goes to Drew Doughty. Frank J. Selke goes to Connor McDavid. Damn it, McDavid cleaned up this year. Art Ross, Maurice, Ted Lindsay, Selke, Hart, and the Edmonton Oilers still ain't winning the Stanley Cup. Woo woo! All right, so playoff tree. Did they even make the... Yeah, okay, so they made the... they made the playoffs. We beat them in round number 1. That's what it was. All right, so where are the Tampa Bay Lightning? Let's see how they got through. Yeah, they beat the Buffalo Sabres in a 4-game sweep. Game 7, they survived against the Carolina Hurricanes. Then they beat Sidney Crosby, looking to come back again. Very good, very good. All right. And then we have... the Stanley Cup final where we lost in Game 6. I'm just looking back at our run, actually. Yeah, man, if you look at the Game 7 win against the Dallas Stars, that Game 7 overtime goal by Patrick Kane, I think all of their points came in the first 2 rounds. I think he had like 2 or 3 points in the final 2 rounds, and that was 12 games. Arizona and Tampa Bay combined, the conference final and the Stanley Cup final. The 12 freaking games, and I think Kane, DeBrincat, and Panarin, none of them had more than like 4 points, I think. They really dropped off there in the final 2 rounds. So I may have to break that line up. We may even have to think about maybe moving on from Panarin. I know that sounds crazy. We tried him on the second line last year. It didn't really work out. Tried him on the first line this year. Didn't really work out. Worked out in the regular season, not in the Stanley Cup finals. So let's see what our contract situation looks like. Then we'll take a look at the draft class. Yeah, this might be a bit of a shorter video because the offseason is going to be a big one here. We have some big-time decisions to make. And free agency, I think we're going to be targeting a big-time free agent if they're there. So 3-year plan looks to be what we're on right now. It's really only 2 more years because, yeah, this one's going to go through. So we got a 2-year plan, basically. So we've got to find a way to win a Stanley Cup within the next 2 years, the 22 and the 23. After that, all of our players are going to be dropping off, and it's really going to be like another retool or a rebuild, all right? So Bachfists... Thank God these guys are growing. Bachfist, Jokiharju, Ekholm, Myers. We got to get Duncan Keith's 5.5 off of our team. He's got it for another 2 years as well, but we're going to have to sign Bachfist and Jokiharju before he goes, and if he doesn't retire, we're in trouble. So I've got to get rid of Duncan Keith. I can always go with Santini and Galvis, but I'm thinking a free agent defenseman. Some stud, and we might even have to move out Tyler Myers. You know, if there's like a guy who's like worth $7 million, in free agency, a blue liner, I think we might want to go after that. So Duncan Keith, we've got to try to find a way for him to move off. Hang on a second. Overall, is there any other defensemen we have to sign this year? No. So our defensemen are good. We don't have to sign any of them. And forwards, Patrick Kane, yeah, all these guys. Kane, Panarin. Panarin's got 1 extra year, but he's 29, so we don't have to worry about him. He's jumped up to an 88 overall. I mean, what kind of... He had a good season. Yeah, he did a great regular season. He just didn't... I mean, that's a... Put him on the first line with DeBrincat and Kane over the regular season. They're going to get us into the playoffs. A plus 28. And then you get into the playoffs and a minus 3, 14. But you know what I mean? It's just, where did that come from? He was so good during the regular season. And then the playoffs, they just did not simulate well. I can't trade him. 7.5. I mean, he's too good. I need him for the regular season. He can stay for the next 2 years. You got to keep him with Taves and Kane. DeBrincat, all right, we got to sign Bjorkstrand this year, but he's an RFA, so if I can't afford him, I can always trade him, so that's good. Nemesnikov, I want to keep. That second line with Nemesnikov, Taves, and Bjorkstrand I want to keep together. Nick Schmaltz might be somebody that we could trade away if we need to free up some cap space. We're going to get 2.5 right there. 1.6 right there. Miles Wood, 2.3. I think that's fine for a depth player. Hayden, we're going to free up some cap space. Yarncroc, I think we can part ways with. He was good in the playoffs, but I think we can part ways with him. Because we have Jackson Kostopoulos and what's his name coming up. All right, so hang on a second. Main roster in the system. Let me just see. So we got Jackson, 78 overall. Soshnikov, Andronov, 74, and Kurt Adams, 73. I don't know. These guys might be ready to play in the on the team next season, at least 4th line. So, and I could save some money with that. All right. Okay. I have an idea what I want to do. I know I want to trade away Duncan Keith. That $5 million, if we free up that, we should be in a good position. And then if we need to free up some more space, we can free it up at free agency, trade, and then sign. But I want to make sure that I can get everyone back. So hang on a second. A surplus. I'm not giving up a first for this year. I'm not giving up a first for next year. But I will give up draft picks. This is what I'm going to have to do to get Duncan Keith off the team. If you guys are ever trying to trade away... yeah, I'll just leave all that. That's fine. If you guys are ever... Nah, actually, no. I want to just get a player for it. If you guys are ever trying to just sign a... or trade away a player that you don't think... or that every other team is saying we won't take on that salary cap, put them on the trading block. Because there might be a team that comes around and actually offers you something for it. You can't actually go in and customize it then after, because again, they'll say, no, we're not interested, but you can fool them. You can get them to offer you something straight up. So I'll go with Duncan Keith. He's still got some trade value. I wonder if some team's going to offer something for him. We got to get that contract off. 3.7. Smith. No, I think we're good after that. Yeah, we're good after that. Our younger players don't need contracts, so I think we're going to be okay. I just need to get Duncan Keith off the team. And to ensure that he's off the team, let me just... add in a little bit more variety here so that teams can send me a player back as well. Even if I can just, even if they send me a guy with 2 years left at 2.5 mil, a veteran, that would be better than Duncan Keith. Okay, so then I'll go goaltender as well. So we'll see what teams offer for Duncan Keith, if anything. And if they do, I'm literally just giving him away, boys. We're trying to get that $5.5 million off of our team right now. Now, new draft class. I forget where we're drafting. I forget where our picks are. You know what? I can go to... Hang on a second. I can go to, draft board, I think. And it'll show me what draft picks I have, right? Projected picks, is that it? Yeah, all right. So I have the 30th overall. So I do have my first rounder from this year. Good. So I have my first rounder. I have Buffalo's second and my second. So, yeah, we have a first, a second, and a third, basically. Our third is 2 seconds, though. Okay, good. So we have the 30th pick, the 60th pick, and the 54th pick. All right, so 30, 54, and 60. Let's see what we got. View draft class. Now, we found Jackson Kostopoulos and Kurt Adams deeper in the draft, so that's good. Gaudette. Ooh. Kaspard Gaudette. Probably from Victoriaville Tigers, the QMJHL. A sniper, man. The Montreal Canadiens. It's just like Timu Solani. They're getting a nice Quebec-born sniper for their team. That's very nice. So all these guys, pretty good. Let's go to the top 30 here, see what we have. All right, so 30th. So somewhere around here, top 6, elites. Don't have a lot of these uncovered. Got to get some better scouts out here. Top 6, there's a gem. All right, so Kavanagh, Boris Kavanagh. Center two-way forward, he's a gem. Medium top 6, but still not bad. Let me just keep going down here. 54, we're somewhere. Yeah, there's another top 6. All right, top 9. There's a top 4 defenseman, but it's a low top 4 defenseman. Medium top 4, Vishnevsky. All right, so I can get a medium top 6 and medium top 4 player with these 2 picks. Let me just go back to the top here and search by potential. See if there's... I got to get some better scouts out here. This is not good enough. All right, so 24. If I get this guy McKenzie, his draft rank is 24. If I could move up to get him, Hector McKenzie, he's right-handed. Bachfist, Yokoharju are both right-handed as well. Nicholas Jalmerson. Yeah, he's been uncovered. That would be a nice one. So if I could move up to 24, I could get this guy who is that medium elite. Everyone else, let's see. Is there any low elite potential players? Low elite potential, 39. All right, so I get that two-way forward. Frazier, Cam, 165. I can get those guys with the later picks. So that guy, Cam, he's that one. Or that, sorry, Frazier. Yeah, Frazier. So if I could get, is he a lefty, Frazier? He's a righty. Casey Frazier. And what was the other guy? And Datsuk? No, McKenzie. There you go, McKenzie. Yeah. All right, so Frazier and McKenzie. If I get those two guys, we'd get two more defensemen, and you'd basically have Yokoharju, Bachfist, and those two guys to come up in the future. Yeah, you'd be taken care of. Is there any medium top 4 guys? Hang on a second, boys. Yeah, there's plenty of medium top 6s. I can find them. Kavanaugh, he's going at 42. He looks to be a gem, they're saying. All right, what about medium top 4s? There's a few of them. 66. Yeah, Vishnevsky. All right, so there's not too many players that we could select here in year number 3. We might want to move up in the draft. So I have an idea. If I can move up to like 22, 21, I can get that defenseman. But I'm not going to go overextending for it, okay? So I think that's enough. We've taken a look at everything. Yeah, let's go into the NHL entry draft for year number 3. I have an idea what I want to do. Haven't done any pre-scouting right now. It's really all about trading away Duncan Keith, all right? So offer trade. Yeah, let's just see. This will give me a better feel of how our team looks for next season, this screen. Can't access this screen until you get to the draft. All right, so goaltenders. We're going to have Sergei Bobrovsky. We have a goaltender coming up from underneath this Punanov's guy. Yeah, he's 20. 70 overall, medium elite, so he's going to be ready to play in the AHL for next season. I have a lot of freaking goaltenders I can move on from. My God, man. All right, so we're going to need a backup for next year. I'll figure out that in free agency. Defensemen. So we got Bachfist, Yokoharju, Ekholm, Myers, Keith, Santini. All right, so let's see if I can move Duncan Keith by myself first. All right, let's see any teams that would want him. I'm trading him to the Eastern Conference. I'm not messing around with Duncan Keith. You can go to Florida, baby. Yeah, the general manager. He was the GM of the Chicago Blackhawks when you were here. Let's see if I can just give him away for a draft pick. All right, so like a 3rd rounder. For Duncan Keith, will it go through? I just want to unload him. Trade rejected. All right, so that's not going to happen. Let's see if I go back here because there's not a lot of great draft picks this year in the later draft picks, so I'll just go with that. There you go. 5, 6, and 7 for your 3rd. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Yeah, okay, so see, based on the needs your offer will fill, we just don't think it's worth it to take on the contract of Duncan Keith. All right, so we're not going to be able to trade away Duncan Keith ourselves. More than likely, every team is going to give me that response. We're going to have to hope a team sends us an offer because Duncan Keith is on our trading block, all right? So... yeah, there's not really much more money I could free up. I could free up Tyler Myers, but I got to use Tyler Myers. He's good. Oh, but Tyler Myers actually has top 6 potential as well. I didn't even know that. His potential is top 6, which means he's going to be dropping off next season. Okay, that changes everything. All right, so we're going to be trading away Tyler Myers right now as well. He's been a great player for us, but if he's got that potential at top 6, he's 31, he'll be dropping off quickly, and he doesn't have the numbers to sustain it if he begins to drop off. I got to get that. I mean, he played good with Bachfist in the playoffs for us, 25 games played. He was a plus 12. Yeah, but I could find a nice left-handed player to be linked with Bachfist. All right, so, yeah. All right, so now I have to do some pre-scouting. I got to go through each team and see what the best fit for Myers would be and what we could get back. So let me just, yeah, I'm going to do some power video editing right here. Santini, Galvis. All right, what about forwards? Any forwards I need to give up? Panarin, Stan, Taves, DeBrincat, Bjorkstrand, Nemesnikov. That's the top 6. They're all staying. Schmaltz, I got, no, I want to keep Schmaltz. Yarncroc can go. I can get rid of that $2 million. Wood is staying. Miles Wood was good, a good defensive player. And then we have our young guys. All right, so if I free up that $10 million, or just over $10 million, we'll have a lot of options in free agency. But what I want to do is bring back a defenseman, a young left-handed defenseman who's ready to break out with this trade. I might even add in a first rounder with this. If I don't know, I might even add in like the 30th, and I'll give up that guy that I was eyeing at 24 because I'll get him right now. Basically, I'll get somebody who can grow right now. So let me go through the league. I'm going to do some power video editing, and we'll come back with a player that I think would be beneficial for the Chicago Blackhawks. Give me a second. All right, boys. I think I've found the matchup. The Philadelphia Flyers, the team that we beat in 2010, Travis Sanheim. Now, I think this trade kind of makes sense. They need some right-handed defensemen. They have a good defensive core, but Gostisbehere, Provorov, and Byram, they're all left-handed. This guy Byram, he was drafted, 7th overall in year number 1. He's a lefty. I know he's got that medium elite potential. So they got Gostisbehere, medium elite, Provorov, medium elite, and Byram, medium elite. All these lefties. Sanheim's also a lefty. They have Justin Schultz, who's a righty in there, but to flip Sanheim, who's 25, for Tyler Myers, who is, 31? 31, but he's right-handed. They both have a similar contract, 3 years left, or 2 more years after this, 4.5. But on top of that, they're also getting a forward to help out, Yarncroc, who's got another year or 2, and a 2022 draft pick. That's next year's second. So I'm trying to get Travis Sanheim. The reason I like Travis Sanheim, take a look at his individual stats. He gets some nice assists as well. Penalty minutes is not that high, but he's a body checker, he's a block shotter, and he also takes some chances. So these are the kind of numbers that I want. It's the same kind of thing that Tyler Myers puts up. So you could put him alongside of Joko Harju. You could put him alongside of Bachfist. Bachfist or Joko Harju will be the offensive-based defenseman. Sanheim will throw the body and block shots and do basically anything that I need him to do. So I don't know if this is going to go through. I might have to add 2 seconds onto this, but I'd be willing to do it because we need a better blue line, and this is going to free up a lot of cap space for us and also give us a lot of options in free agency. So I'm going to do this. I think this is the right call. So proposed trade, will it go through? No. All right, so I didn't think that would happen. I've already looked on some other players I could give away. I'm not willing to give away, so I'm just going to be giving away draft picks right now. Give away next year's second. I'll give away next year's third as well. I don't even think this, I might have to go 2 seconds. I might even have to add in a first here. Proposed trade, nope. All right, so second and a third. They don't want to give up Sanheim, and they don't want Myers, but whatever. We're going to make this go through. So I'm going to give them my 61st for this year, so 2 seconds. All right, Tyler Myers and Yarncroc for Sanheim. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Ooh, all right, so Yarncroc is actually not a good contract for some teams. I should have added him to the trading block. All right, so let me take Yarncroc off there, see if this goes through by itself. Trade accepted. All right, so Myers and 2 seconds for Travis Sanheim. Might been a little bit of an overextension, but we don't have to worry about taking on Tyler Myers' contract for next season when he drops off, right? So defensemen now, we have Bachfist, Joko Harju, the 2 righties, Sanheim, and Ekholm, the 2 lefties, all right? Ekholm's getting a little bit old, but that contract is fine. I don't mind if he drops off. Duncan Keith, though, we've got to fight. You know, we can even hold on to Duncan Keith now that we got rid of Myers, but if I can get rid of him, I want to get rid of him, right? So Keith is still in there, and it seems like I'd like to get rid of, what's his name, Yarncroc, but no team wants him. 2 years at, let me just try to find another team here that might have like Pittsburgh. Let me find a team with like no salary cap that wants him. Hang on a second. It's the end of the year. It's not free agency just yet. I know I could get somebody to approach me for Yarncroc, though. I know I could. There you go. Columbus. They're at 80 mil after for 85 salary cap. For God's sakes, I can't even talk. All right, so let's just try to get a 7th out of it. All right, Yarncroc for a 7th. This will tell us the story. Yeah, there you go. Well, this is an absolute no-brainer for us here in Columbus. We're going to accept this deal before you change your mind on about it. I can't talk. Oh, my God. All right, so Yarncroc, thank you very much, but I needed to get that contract off my hands. Got a 7th back. Maybe could have gotten a little bit more for it. But right now, it's about freeing up the salary cap so that when we get to free agency, we can make that big decision. So let me just go through this list again. Kane, Taves, Panarin, Keith. I want to get Keith off. DeBrincat, Schmaltz, Sanheim, Nemesnikov, Ekholm. Smith is off already. Bjorkstrand, I got to sign. Miles Wood, I don't mind giving Miles Wood that. I need some depth. 2.3 for 1 more year is fine. VC, Hayden, Santini. Yep, all right, we're good. So that is everyone off the team except for Duncan Keith. I got the defenseman for next year, and we're going to use free agency to build up the rest of the squad. So, yep, we're good for the draft right now. Now we just got to go ahead and draft our players. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, the the Fog of War. Sim to user pick. All right, so weren't able to move up to 24. I'm not going to be trading a lot to get up there. Let's see. What was that guy? Yeah, McKenzie. There you go. He went at number 22. So even if I tried to move down to 24, he may have gotten taken anyways. It's not the end of the world, boys. Wasn't in the cards. We got ourselves Travis Sanheim anyways. And he's 27. He's young enough that he can help us out. Remember, it's about the next 2 years. It's not about the future for us. Trying to get it done in the next 2 years. So I'm going to go back to this. Medium elite. Low elite potential. This guy, Frazier. Two-way defenseman, right-handed. He's going 39th overall. Let me see. Should I get that guy or should I get the guy who was that gem top 6? Kavanaugh. Let's see. I could use another forward, though. I will be running out of forward soon. And Yokarju and Bachfist are good enough. You know what? I'm going to go with the forward, Kavanaugh. Yeah. Boris Kavanaugh. And you know what? He's 18. He's from, what is that, Lithuania or is that Estonia? It's one of the two. Shit. I don't even know. He'll be ready to play in the AHL year number 1. I'm going to take a chance on this guy. He's saying that it's a gem. I know he's medium top 6. I'm just hoping that this low elite player wasn't the better bet. I'll try to remember this guy's name. Let's see. Frazier, right? Frazier going 39th. All right, so let's just go with it, shall we? Kavanaugh, where are you? There you go. Kavanaugh selected by the Chicago Blackhawks. All right, so medium top 6. Hopefully, all right, I can't even take a look at it. Damn it. Sim to user pick. Keep on making that mistake. All right, so 24th, we have 2 seconds. Oh, no, we have 1 second, right? We already traded away for Sanheim. So we got the 1 second. Let's just go for somebody that we know. This guy's going to be a gem, it looks like. Sniper. Chucko. 22 goals, 25 assists. I don't know, though. It could be shit. I'd rather go with somebody like this guy low. Yeah, no, ooh, another defenseman. There we go. Defensive defenseman, though. I could get him at 165. I can wait for that. He's gonna still be around in like the 3rd or 4th round. Medium top 6, Keene. There you go. Power forward. He'll still be around a little bit later. Low top 6. What about medium top 4? There we go. Vishnevsky. Yeah, I want this guy. Medium top 4. He's going 66th overall. We'll get that. We'll get those players that we know that will grow or become trading assets for us. All right, so the first one, hang on a second, let me go all the way down here. We get a top 6 forward, Kavanaugh, and then we get a top 4 defenseman both from, well, one's from Russia, one's from Estonia, the other one. There you go. All right, good. So sim options, sim to user pick. This will take us to the 4th round now. Yeah, we're going to go with those guys with the low elite now. Just take a chance on them, see if they grow and turn out to be anything for us. Oh, this Keene guy, actually. Medium top 6 power forward. Yeah, I'm going to go with the power forward. Medium top 6 is always good. And power forwards are always great for the bottom 6. So why not? Even if he only becomes like an 80 overall, he can still be useful. All right. Is there anyone else that we can go for? We already have the goaltender that we need for the future to take over for Bobrovsky. Yeah, defensive defenseman, I'm going with it. Whatever. Low elite, it's 4 bar. I want to make sure I get at least trading assets. All right, so there you go. Up to round 6. I'll take a chance with some of those low elite players. There you go, like this guy, McIntyre. Is low elite, but it's 3 bar. He's a sniper, left wing. I could go for some forwards now. Let's see. Oh, yeah, fuck! I keep forgetting the Fog Award. I'm not gonna know until next season. So we got to get some better scouts to uncover this stuff. I'll take care of that as well. And we'll go for another low elite potential 2-way defenseman, Tukkanen. There you go. All right, a lefty. All right, very good. So a lot of good draft picks. Tyler Myers moved off the team. Oh, we have one more. Tyler Myers moved off the team, and it looks like I was not able to get any trade offers from any team in regards to Duncan Keith. Now, I think I'll be able to get them once free agency starts. Because, hang on a second, because some of these teams will have the cap space available to make a trade like that. But the thing is, in free agency, it's already past the re-sign stage, so you may have missed your chance to sign some players. So I think the Tyler Myers trade was necessary because we were unable to trade away Duncan Keith. We still have Travis Sanheim's 8 or whatever. So I don't know. It's going to be close. It's going to be close with Duncan Keith. We were able to get Yarncroc off the team, but it's going to be close with these guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get everyone signed back. Bjorkstrand might have to remain qualified until free agency, and then I can try to move away Duncan Keith. So our cap space is 10 mil. Retained salary and buyout penalty is 0, so we have nothing hurting us. All right, so let's go through this one by one. Yeah, because this is tight. I want to clean this up. Might as well show you guys. So AHL starter. Now we're gonna get rid of these guys. Don't need these These goaltenders. Hogberg, I'm going to release you. May need Forsberg back for a backup role, so I'm going to leave him in there. Punanovs, he's going to be our AHL starter for next season. Two-way contract, no problem. All right, these guys, I'm just going to hold off on. Steven, no, I'm going to release you. I don't know anything about you. All right, so we'll wait on those. Defensemen, all right, so we have Bakfist. We have Yokoharju. Next year, we have to sign these guys. So we're going to have to free up. We have to get Duncan Keith's contract off our team for next season, man, big time. So Bakfist, Yokoharju, Sanheim, Ekholm, Keith, and then Santini or Galvis. I might even just go with Galvis this year and save some money. Yeah, I'm going to save some money on Santini right now. I'm going to qualify offer for him. All right, Dahlstrom. I wouldn't mind getting these guys back for the AHL squad, but I can always just do that myself. So I'm going to release you, Dahlstrom. There you go. Snuggerud. If I can get him back, fine. But yeah, it's a one-way deal, so no thank you. I'm going to release you. There you go. They don't have any trade value anyways. I'm not going to try to cheese some teams. Talola. Let's see, one way. No, I'm not giving any of these guys one-way deal. I'll pick up other players to fill up my AHL roster later. We need to save as much money as we can. So this guy, Jensen. All right, Nicholas Jensen. When did I draft him? 4th round in 2020, the year 2 draft, and look what he's become already, 77 overall. So that's a guy who's going to be able to play in the AHL, maybe crack the NHL roster for next season if he continues to grow. 7th defenseman. No, I'm going to release you. There you go. Koivu, I'm not going to sign him. He's only 65 overall. I got to wait till he's like in the 70s. Negrin, no. No, all these guys can stay. 7th defenseman, do not need you. Release. And then these guys we've got to uncover. All right, so the prospect pool is looking good for D. A few guys that we can trust to grow for the future. And we have Bakvist and Yokoharju, who we know are going to grow. Right wingers. All right, so we got to get Bjorkstrand back. What kind of contract does Bjorkstrand want? He runs around 5 mil. All right, I can do that. Smith doesn't want a contract, so I'm going to release him. If he doesn't want a contract, I'm not overpaying. Sashnikov, he doesn't want a contract. I'm going to release him. I can find these guys in free agency, so that's the whole point of this. Yeah, he can stay. He's got that top 9 potential. Give you a 1 year. There you go. Chubarov, he's only 65 overall. I'm going to hold off on that. Metanin is a bottom 6. I'm going to release you. Same thing with Pierce. I'm going to release you. There you go. Chabarov, I'm going to hold on. And Keane, I'm going to hold on. We've got to uncover these guys. Left wingers. All right, Miles Wood. Jimmy VC doesn't want to come back, so I'm going to release him. Can find these guys in free agency. Don't need to overpay them right now. McGinn might be somebody I want to bring back because he wants to stay, and I know he's going to be nice and cheap, and I know he simulates well. So for a 4th liner, he might be perfect. So I'm going to leave him on the roster for right now. Pukkanen, going to release you, bottom 6. Jacobson, going to release you, bottom 6. All these guys that were on the team from year number 1 and finally being able to cut. AHL. All right. Vatanen. McIntyre, I'm going to release. Not going to release. I got to wait on him. I have to get the scout to uncover his potential and his overall. And then the centers, we got John Hayden. He wants to stay. All right, Hayden was pretty good. Yeah, okay, so I can get Hayden and McGinn back for like 1.8 each, so that's good. Andronov, he might be ready to play for next season, which is nice. This Kabanoff guy, 69 overall. Yeah, at 69, he's basically 70. I'm going to sign him. He can play in the AHL next season. Varlamov, no. Primo, I'm going to release you. Do not need you on the team. All right, Kavanaugh. And we got a lot of these, like Kavanaugh, Varlamov, Kavanaugh. We got a good Russian scouts here, man. Kavanaugh, I'm not going to sign just yet. I want to know. I did draft him in the 1st round, though. Thing is, though, if I draft or if I sign him right now, he has to play in the AHL. So I'm just going to leave him right there. That's for the future. It's for the future. They're not elite players. They're a medium top 6. Take your time with them. All right, so that's about it, right? So let me just go ahead and advance a day. Make sure I get these guys signed, and then I can figure out what I can give Bjorkstrand and Hayden and McGinn. So from is back, Punanovs, Kabanov, Jensen. All right, so all these guys are back. Yeah, we don't have any big-time contracts, which is nice. It's just Bjorkstrand, but it's not that bad. All right, so if I go here, bring up all these names. All right, so McGinn, Bjorkstrand, and Hayden. Yeah, I don't need Santini back. I can let him go. I can even sign him or trade him for another defenseman. McGinn, I want back, but Bjorkstrand is the first one. Now, let's see. I got like, hang on a sec, all skaters. Let me just sort this so I know. 1, 2, 3 more years for Panarin, so that sounds about right. 3 years for Bjorkstrand. All right, he wants 5 years? No, you can go 3. Oh, he's going to be 31. Yeah, you can go 5 years. You know what? You're going to be worth it. Yeah, he's not going to drop off too much. So we'll go 5 years so I can save a little bit of money. 5 years at 4.5 for Bjorkstrand. All right. And Hayden, yeah, I want to bring these guys back for depth. They were good. They were good pieces for us. So 1.8 for John Hayden. All right, and where is he? McGinn, 1.8 for you as well. There you go, 1.8. All right, so we'll get those guys back. I'm gonna need, I'm gonna get Forsberg back as well for our backup. He was fine for us. He's nice and cheap, 1 year, $1 million, and that should free up the cap space that we need to make a move in free agency. Now, if I can somehow get Duncan Keith off the team before we simulate too far into free agency, then I can really make some moves. But I'm going to have to simulate a few days, have him on the trading block, and wait to see if a team approaches me. So let me just go back to contracts one more time. I just want to double check, make sure I'm not leaving anyone off the squad. We have $5.2 million of cap space available, so we could have held on to Tyler Myers and still made it work. It would have been just there, though. But the way I see it, we have a starter, we have a backup. Defenseman, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have Duncan Keith. If we can get rid of him, we can use him for next season as a top 6 defenseman. And then Galvis as well. So technically we have 6 defensemen, but we can improve that big time. And forwards, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the top 6. Schmaltz, Wood, Hayden, there's the third line, and then Kostopoulos, McGinn, and Andronov or Adams. So we're missing like one roster play. I don't know if Andronov or Adams are going to be good enough, but we could use one forward, we could use one defenseman, that's about it, and we have $5 million to get it done, all right? And if I can move Duncan Keith, then we'll have like $10 million to bring in one player. That'll be real nice for us. Next year, we'll have to sign Bachvist and Jokiharju, but I can just give a veteran like a 1-year deal, all right? So we're here in free agency. Let's see what we have available to us. All right. There are some good ones. Good. All right, so there's no big-time studs. There's no, like, Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid. But definitely some guys that we could improve our squad with, like Dougie Hamilton as a defenseman. We don't even need Dougie Hamilton, to be honest. We already have 2 offensive-based defensemen, so I think that would be a waste. But like a Derek Stepan for a third-line center. Schmaltz could be the fourth-line center then. I mean, that would be a real nice center core. Derek Brassard, I mean, we could get one of these veterans. Bjugstad, he's not even the veteran. He's 28 years of age. Hyman we could get for a defensive fourth-line right winger. Alexander Steen, fourth-line right winger. Stashny, a fourth-line center. Donskoy. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that we can do to build up our depth. And we could try to still trade away Duncan Keith. So we're going to leave it right there, ladies and gents. I want to see what you guys have to say. Goaltenders. Freddie's available. There you go. All right, so there's a lot of good goaltenders available. But we already have our guy, and we already have our backup. It's about trying to build up the squad that we already have. So I've gone through it with you guys in detail. Our blue line is looking good. Bachvist and Jokiharju are going to continue to get better. Sanheim, I think, is a nice replacement to Tyler Myers, who was getting older, and who was also right-handed. Now we have Sanheim and Ekholm as our lefties. We still have Duncan Keith, but if we can move him off, there's another $5 million. We'll have $10 million. And by next season, we should be able to sign Bachvist and Jokiharju with that $10 million, no problem. And then the year after that, that's when all the contracts come to an end, and hopefully we can save some money then. But it's about the next 2 years, boys. So which one of these players do you think fits into this squad to take us to the next level, the Stanley Cup Championship? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, Johnny here, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure notifications are on so you don't miss out on any new content. We also live stream on Twitch where I take days off my life for your entertainment. Sonny Gray, get out of it. You stupid pieces of shit! I should have gone with Jose for Fernandez! Oh my God, pitching change. Fernandez, get your ass in there. Oh, I swear to God, baseball God just decided to all over me. Grand slam, oh yeah. Make me miss the playoffs with a first-ranked team. Year 2, 30 games above 500, no divisional win, trip to the wild card. First inning.